That's not what I want to do.
What's good, bro?
Hello,
Hello,
what's up?
what's up? How you doing?
Good. How's everyone? How's everyone?
Good, bro.
Feeling tired?
Living life like it's golden, you know.
Hell yeah. Hold
What
on.
are we talking, boy?
But I'm gonna intermittently mute while I finish eating.
Yeah, do your thing.
You good, bro?
It is 7 o'clock, so I want to get started regardless. So my boy phillmatic, man.
Hmm.
Feel it. Talk to me about what you seen in volume 3, man.
Not really much, bro. Um, whatchamacallit? Uh, like K and what is it, Nezu or whatever? They
Yeah,
had,
Nezu.
yeah, they had got in contact or whatever. Um, you get our
Do you
entry,
know?
huh?
Do you know what Nezu means?
Do I know what he means?
What Nezu means, like the word.
Oh, nah.
So you know how every time we talk to that lady, she call him his little rodent or her little
Oh
rodent.
yeah, little rat.
Yeah, Nezu mean rat.
That's crazy. Cause she definitely was like, yo, she was talking to that little girl, or whatever,
Sakaki.
Sakaki or Sasaki,
Yeah.
whatever. Her name is, however you say that shit. She was like, yeah, bro, yeah, just whatever information you need, we got it. Just go ahead, go handle that. And then she was spying on the old dude, or she was spying on the conversation. And then I think that's pretty much where I left off. Like I had a meeting, and then
um,
Dad went crazy on me. I was like,
if
dang.
you, yeah, I'm saying, if you think that was, you was seeing some crazy boy.
Nah, cause it was just like I already know it's about to pick up and start going crazy. Cause like those four like disciples of call it, Lady Chiyoko or what the,
Yeah, Miyako.
Chiyako. Yeah, bro. I already know they about to go crazy. I'm excited to see what that is and what that's talking about. And then yeah, just Tetsuo, man. You know his arm had got blown off in the last volume. And he's just like in recovery mode. You know, we get an introduction to Akira, and he's unconscious. You know, what's Bruh talking about? I'm excited to see what Bruh talking about and everything. So
So
yeah.
I want to ask you this. Um, last week we talked a bit about how it has, a post-apocalyptic kind of dystopian feel, and then this week they popped that level 7 security warning at the end of volume 2, and we see what that looks like at the beginning of volume 3 with these caretaker robots. How did that whole how did that whole thing feel?
What the? Can you say that again?
So at the end of volume 2,
You see?
after one of the scientists, he panics and he hits a button, even though the colonel says don't hit the button. And with
Yeah,
that button, he kind of throws everything into martial law.
yeah,
And immediately, like as we can see right here, people start wilding out. Like,
yeah. They started looting the city. They was like, "Yo, what's up? What's good?" You know?
so I wanted to know how you felt about that. Did that feel natural? Did that feel because I mean, I feel like, in our time we've lived some of that martial law, seeing people, wild out, smash stuff, destroy things. But did this feel forced? Did it feel natural? How did it feel for you to read that?
Um, I thought it was funny. I'm not gonna lie because them them robots came in and it was like I think it was like number 28 or something, the first robot or whatever that Canada that he sees, and then he
Yeah,
went
right
to
here.
yeah, or 27. It's 27. So, and then he was like, "Yeah, okay, what's we should, what's this, you know?" And then she's like, "Yo, bro, like, bro, be quiet, bro, chill, bro, like, chill, bro, like, we got bigger problems. There's people dead, like, over there." And then you really just start seeing them go like murk people and everything. And I was just like, "Damn, that was kind of crazy though." But all that could have been avoided. Like, bro, it's not even really nothing
Yeah,
too
right.
crazy,
Nothing,
right? It's two
nothing has
kids right
happened,
now.
bro.
Like,
Nothing has happened to warrant this level of security. And I think that's what the colonel was saying. Like the colonel, and y'all was saying fuck the colonel last week. And once you finish, you know what I'm saying. I feel like your opinion is gonna change once you finish this volume and the next. But y'all was saying fuck the colonel, but the colonel knew he was don't push that button because now you got these robots running around killing people for no reason.
exactly.
What's that about? You know.
That was
So
crazy. So yeah,
I think it was a very I mean, damn, nothing happened. The people outside, maybe they saw the soul come down 30,000 miles away and hit the middle of the crater. And this, I don't know why people decided to start rioting all of a sudden.
bro.
Are you talking
So
about
peace
Volume 3?
terminated, man. What's good, my boy?
Yeah, it
What's
was
up, man?
good, fam.
What's up, fellas?
Was good, bro.
You're talking about Volume 3?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. We're talking about the beginning of volume 3.
But you don't gotta go too crazy, cause not.
Yeah, before we get phillmatic out of here.
Yeah, look. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. You know, y'all loyal to the Geek Giant fam. You know, so I didn't do my due diligence this week. You know,
Dang.
I was, bro. You know, I ain't finished all my reading material, my homework. So I gotta go finish that real quick. Life I got busy for me. I ain't even gonna cap. But
It
yeah,
happens.
Yeah, that's
but
life.
yeah, man. I am excited to see. I'm like halfway through volume 3. So I'm excited to see and finish the rest of the volume, but I don't want to hold up the discussion. You know, I want to let y'all boys get to it.
Yeah,
So,
but I do think there's a couple of other things I want to ask you before we, kick you up out of here. Because I'm
uh,
pretty sure you got to see you got to see Nezu talk to Miyako one more time, right? Like right after this meeting,
I think so. Yes, yes.
and right before she tells Sakaki to like go and tail him and da 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 da
Mhm.
da. And she describes to him the type of man that will fuck shit up, right? Like small men get a little bit of power and they think they just shit all of a sudden.
Right.
So how did you without going into any detail for real, how did y'all feel about just that statement and how it took forward?
I mean,
Hey, okay, I didn't really, like, know how to take it, like, seriously. I'm gonna be honest because, like, the power that she talked about, I feel like political power and nuclear power. I mean, I don't know, man.
But low
Nuclear
key,
may
like
not
when
be
you really
the whole fucking country. That's two different things, bro.
like it should be, but realistically, the only
Mm.
people who can control the nuclear power is the niggas
Ah,
that
okay,
make the
he's cooking.
decision. So
He's
that's why I
cooking.
feel like this whole thing keeps coming back to that sort of commentary.
Okay, okay, all right.
But
I
I
was like,
feel
she's
man.
spitting, but yeah, I mean, I thought she was cooking, but it was just hard to. It was hard to relate because I mean, she probably know more than anybody else because she's one of the test subjects. You know, I'm I'm just reading this shit.
She was really flaming, bro. But we gonna kick my boy Phil Literate up out the chat.
Illiterate.
that's crazy. That's
Salute,
crazy.
my boy.
Already.
Let my boy deafen. And
Hey,
I do want to let. Oh,
add
go
me
ahead,
when
Phil.
you add me when y'all are finished. I'm just deafening.
All right, bet.
Bye, bye, bye.
But I do want to. We're like
Oh, oh.
Bro,
we always have these discussions, but we
wait,
have like
wait, wait,
you
wait,
know
wait, wait. I just realized I can't deafen, and the
It keeps
audio.
streaming.
No, like yeah, like the audio disappeared. So I'm just gonna take my little book over here and and,
Yeah, just go ahead and turn
yeah,
the volume down.
yeah, yeah.
Just physically turn the volume down a little bit.
So already, I shall be back.
All right, word. But yeah, so yeah, we are recording this and we're uploading it. Well, it's actually live on the Geek Giant chart right now. But we were like, man, we should have done this with like so many other book clubs because we've had some really good discussions in the past that we kind of forget about. But I feel like this is where some of the best discussion comes about with this sort of book club format. But
Sure.
without further ado, we got that fraud out of here. Fraudmatic, illiterate.
Illiterate
Nicknames
dummy.
is going longer and longer, man. And you really can't hear us right now, so we could really fire his ass. But anyway, appreciate y'all boys pulling up. I have some things I want to ask you guys about, get your opinion on, and I really just want to hear how you felt about this 2-volume run, 3 and 4.
Bruh.
Bro,
No, go ahead,
if
man.
I was just gonna say, I like 3 and 4 honestly much better than 1 and 2. Like I still liked 1 and 2 a lot, but the fact like it didn't feel like there was a wasted moment in 3 and 4. Like it just felt like you got plot point action, plot point action, plot point action,
yeah,
all
yeah,
just all in a run. I think it really helped that there's no chapter breaks because
Yeah.
it just felt like I could just keep scrolling, and I would just continuously see the story as you know Otomo wanted.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's a lot of post-apocalyptic kind of depictions now, and I think the one I'm thinking about most is like Mad Max and kind of how like that's like a lawless kind of world because there's no law that that really exists. But then here in Akira, when you put the country under martial law, and with the idea of quote unquote like controlling, keeping stuff in order. Look, man, that shit had me on the edge of my seat, bro. I'm sweating every panel, like the destruction already of the wait. I'm thinking about volume 4 already. So in
yeah.
volume 3,
It's hard to like not think about volume 4.
Yeah.
God, volume 4 is so different. Volume 4 is crazy.
Like everything feels like it just leads to that. So real quick to kind of summarize, we read volume 3 and 4 over this last week, and in my opinion, these 2 volumes they have to do with basically Akira is free, and we face what comes when Akira is free. But I think the craziest points is how fast this shit changes. So like end of volume 2, we use SOL. We take Tetsuo's arm, and a silly scientist pushes a button, puts the world or the country under level 7 threat security, and unleashes these caretaker robots. And like my thing is, I don't know if you guys can see my screen, but you know what I'm saying. We're coming from all right. We take his arm,
Yeah.
and literally a couple pages later, we got motherfuckers rioting in the street, stealing. Like, what? How did y'all know that this was to be? Why did y'all attack? Like, what's going on? But
Yeah, the rioting and like the looting felt really fast, but I think in thinking about it like retrospectively, they went through a lot of these people went through this 30 years ago when the first nuclear um, quote unquote nuclear event happened, and the people that grew up in that post attack war or that post attack time, they must have just been like, you know what, I'm ready for it this time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let it happen again.
yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people also had the same thing of like, how the hell did we get here so quick? Too, and that probably just added even more to like people being like, oh, it's A to B in half a second. Fuck, I'm taking it to C, man. We already here.
yo, you know what's funny? It made me think about like it's like memes and things like when the government shut down or something like that, and people start robbing, and somebody miss out, they be like, "Yo, next time, I'm not this shit. Like, I'm gonna get my shit too." Like, and it's like, yo, they got a hint of the government shutting down. Boom, straight to the TV store. Like, they running out with radios and all types of things. But the thing that I think this run of volumes encapsulates is the tone of the story, and I think that kind of it's a it's like a underlying theme. Like we have the bikers, you have the biker gangs and the violence and all this and that. I knew that was Red God ass joining because it was loud as fuck.
There.
I knew it was Red God because his background noise shit distracted me. I couldn't even finish my
I
sentence.
put it. I got crisp on, so it shouldn't be as
Yeah,
bad.
no. Because I saw you tried to deafen it or noise cancel that shit somewhere through it, but it ain't working.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you know the rules. When Red God joined, he got to mute till he want to talk.
Yeah.
He can't
Well,
keep.
I turned it. I turned it off. I turned off the van because I gotta make a delivery real quick. So I thought it'd be cool to
Okay.
pop in and say some shit. But if it's that bad, shit, I'll just mute myself.
But I do want to let you know that we are live streaming this to the Geek Giant YouTube. We are being recorded.
Oh, so everyone can just hear this loud ass shit I got going on.
Yeah, and everyone will be able to hear it forever because this video will be archived. But so back to what I was saying. I believe that these two volumes really kind of establish that tone because you have these bikers, and with the biker gangs with bikes, everything's fast. Cool, we've already got this fast paced, no chapter break thing down. But there's a chase going on. There was a chase in volume 1, there's a chase in volume 2, and then there's like the chase just expands. It gets bigger. The scale of the chase gets bigger. Now we're all chasing Akira. Like volume 3 from beginning to end is fast because everybody in these individual groups find out that he's free and they're all chasing him. And then it just keeps going like that. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
So I really like volume 3 and volume 4 because it kind of feels like the retelling of the first two volumes, but like you said, in like way higher stakes. And so I'm already jumping ahead, but at the end of volume 4, when you see the satellite come down again, and it just made me think about seeing it the first time, and it really was like a comparison of like, yo, just these two volumes, like we're talking about like entire like new worlds being rebuilt from scratch in just like probably like 2 weeks or something like that. And it was, I think, what's also like really interesting about the chase is that it's the once you know more about the people that are actually chasing Akira, you kind of realize. Well, I still don't really know what they were necessarily like getting at him for, but it made me more curious because it's like, what could multiple groups possibly want to do with Akira if it's not already what he can do, which is blow crazy shit up. So I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and
Like,
especially when you get to Miyako and Tetsuo, and I do want to talk about that in depth, so I'll save a little bit of that later. But when you find out that it sounds like the moment he got there, got his power, he just blew shit up. Like there was no, we still don't have a reason for what happened 30 years ago. So that's really interesting. But the other thing with Volume 3 and Volume 4 was, and I told you this, Pleasant Sherman was like, throughout Volume 3, you're like, where the fuck is Tetsuo? And you get this one panel that confirms that he didn't die last volume.
that shit was so hard to do.
All it says is, yeah, just a bunch of usual crap. Oh, and one report sounded kind of strange. 2 hours ago, a hospital called and some kid came in with a bad arm for treatment. They then refused to show his ID card, grabbed some medicine, and ran. He was probably 15 or 16. That's all you hear of Tetsuo for like 250 pages. No, really like 300 pages because this volume kind of long. No, this volume's kind of short. Yeah, like 250 pages.
Yeah, it's like 350, I think.
It's like kind of ridiculous. And then in volume 4, it's the opposite. You're like, where is Kaneda? Because it opens up and it's a kid with the same face, but you're like, it's probably not him.
Yeah.
Did he die? And then you get like one word of confirmation that, well, it's kind of, yeah, not really. But yeah, that was just funny how, I mean, just literally just one page. I mean, really one panel, a panel and a half about him being alive.
And what I oh sorry, what was it?
Oh, I was just gonna say that. So that's with you know, Tetsuo and Kaneda, who we've established as our main peer. But the manga is called. It's titled Akira. You know, so it's really interesting because the same thing happens in Volume One. It's all this kind of. It's the same thing, but it's kind of different. We hear talk of Akira, but we have no idea who the fuck he is. We don't meet him until like the end of Volume Two, and still he isn't his own character.
Right.
No, he's just kind of.
He's more like the end goal of the series. It seems like so far.
Yeah, but it's interesting how each important character just is missing. They're never in the same place at the same time.
I think it's interesting because they're both protagonists of the story. If you look at it from one perspective versus the other perspective, you can totally kind of understand like not necessarily where they're coming from, but you can understand how they're both like there's not like one of them's not like to me the protagonist and the antagonist. It seems like they both have their own stories, and I think that's why they never share like a page together really. Because if you put them against each other, then there's like one's a protagonist, one's an antagonist. But if they both have their own separate but parallel stories together, then they're both the protagonist of the story.
You're cooking. That's nice. I didn't think about it like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's clean.
I really like the whole I like the last page showing on the double panel. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the magnitude of like, oh fuck, he actually didn't die, or like, oh my god, what has he been doing this whole time? I'm talking about like sweating, bro. Like,
I'm so sick of it.
Oh,
I'm so sick of Katsuhiro Otomo. I don't care that this happened 30 years ago, bro. I'm over here because I forgot how he gets reintroduced. Tetsuo. I'm laughing. I'm like, bro, he's good because the tension is coming to a head. You can feel the tension coming to a head. Yeah. And before Nezu, inflicts that trauma or whatever. I'm thinking, okay, here's where Tetsuo is gonna come down and do the dumbest thing, and then somehow take Akira and get out of there. Da, 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 da. No, he has the best entrance ever. Like, bro, can he not be cool for 1 second? It's just ridiculous. But another thing that you mentioned was how a lot of this feels like you're reading a storyboard, and how it sets a model for the movie. And in this page right here, 115, I was like, these are the lights. These are how all the lights on the bikes are in the movie when they're riding at night.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I was just thinking about how he's so good at showing motion.
Yeah. And I think it's part of that fast feel. Everything just keeps going and going and going. Because he can make everything go so well. I mean, and the actual chase scenes are great. Like this whole, man, I thought this car was done, boy. What? What? And then trying to read this and stop yourself at a point. I mean, the way he flows from scene to scene is so seamless. You're like, oh yeah, I'll just keep it going. Yeah, I can definitely I have no reason to stop reading. So that joint is so funny. But there was another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick before we shift to end of Volume 3 and get into the depth of Volume 4. Oh, Red God, you must got something to say, my boy, huh?
Yeah. Oh, no, I was gonna say, I like all the dark outlines he has. Because I feel like some other stuff, I mean, sometimes some stuff can get lost, but in this, you can clearly see what everything is.
Yeah. It's that good old classic pen to paper, ain't no digital art.
Yeah, right.
But I was gonna say that Kaneda, like, he enjoys the most convenient sort of main character kind of this circumstance. All right, my God, you gotta mute that shit, my boy.
Yeah.
But Like, all right, we see all these bad guys. He's like, oh man, damn, it's a lot of them. And then they're all like, hey, you all gotta leave, right?
This shit made me laugh so hard.
We all have to leave the dumbest one too.
Yeah, we gotta leave the big dumb one. Like, like this is
This is main character moment for Kaneda. This is really just for him to be cool as fuck.
you know what I'm saying? This is main character privilege. Chiyoko did not get to enjoy this. When it came for her time, she had to stand 10 against like a one-man army. You know what I'm saying? She had to stand on business. But my boy Kaneda gets the, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go over here and knock him out real quick, and I'm gonna paint on the wall. But I think that was the last thing I had before we get to the end of Volume 3. If anybody has anything else.
I just really like how much Nezu is kind of important in this part. He gives some really he carries a lot of the pacing very well, and a lot of the information that I was seeking was kind of focused on wherever he was going for a majority of Volume 3, and they definitely didn't do that in the movie. So I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, I mean,
like a big reason why the plot moves in this volume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he does it kind of sneaky because I mean, in the beginning,
like a rat.
Yeah, he's definitely a rat. No, he's totally a rat, and he carries all those traits very well. Because I mean, in the beginning, you're like, oh, okay, hey, Kei's calling Nezu, cool. Hey, why is he saying nothing about Ryu? Hey, why didn't he tell Ryu he saw Kei? Huh? Why is he sneaking to Kei and not telling Miyako? Oh, okay, this is about to get crazy.
Yeah, he was a big
This is
guy.
about to get wicked.
Yo, this part was crazy. The other kids that had like the slight powers, I did not expect them to be like moving like that, and they were putting in work. Yo, I was terrified of them.
But in Volume 4, when Kaneda, into Volume 3, when yeah, let me just scroll to that joint, bro, because that I'm not gonna lie, had me weak as fuck. It had me weak as fuck when Kaneda was like,
jumps in there and kicks.
Yeah, when he's like, "You don't want to."
You read that
shit? Like, I'm hip now. All you're gonna do is jump. You're gonna keep jumping. Right here, he said, "Pow!" Yeah, I'm too cold. Because low-key, like when you first see them when they enter the scene, you're like, how are they doing this? This is crazy, you know? And then you're like, wait, is she just gonna keep jumping every time somebody approaches her? But man, this is where tension really comes to a head. Goodness,
where all parties kind of converge on each other.
Yeah,
and so it's like a smaller corridor. It's not really out in the open. It's kind of enclosed, so it's like everybody's looking at every possibility with Akira, and it's just I'd lose my mind.
See, but it seems like, oh, okay, it's a military win. You know, because I'm like, oh, and for me, kind of, I don't know, this being a reread, but also as I feel like as an outsider, you can kind of take the Colonel seriously. Like you can see that giant crater, understand that that's because of that little boy, and that everybody's kind of taking this a little too casually. And you're like, oh, okay, the military has it. The Colonel definitely has the best interest of the people. He's gonna get the situation under control. I'm sorry to everyone else, because I mean, sure you want to root for Kaneda, but you don't really understand what his group's about, and his group is connected with Nezu. But you understand Nezu is not the best guy, so you don't want him to win.
Right.
And they're independent of Nezu now at the same time. But then there's also Miyako coming in, who was also affiliated with Nezu. So it's like, it's so much chaos. And then when you think everything is gonna be all right, boy, does he
fucking comes back up,
bro.
Again.
I screamed. I legit screamed.
Boy,
bro,
I mean,
I was not expecting it.
It was great. And the thing is, Otomo, he has these detailed backgrounds and whatnot. But when he uses this negative or like empty space in the background, it is always so good. And right here, when Akira's coming and you have Takashi coming up to them, and you have this kind of distant perspective. Oh, the distance, you know, in the perspective makes it feel like, all right, we're moving back. We can kind of cool out.
Right.
You haven't changed a bit. Oh, all right, things are cool. Crack. Oh, nah. I thought I heard something. No. What a panel, dog.
Bro, like
Thing?
you can see the piece and how like disrupted it is. Like that's the worst part. Like, oh my, if it was just his like body with the hole, that would not have done anything. But to just see the hole and not like they don't even know like what's going on, bro. Oh my god. And this Takashi, bro, like I kind of like I was upset. He was the homie, bro. Like
He was the homie. He was the homie for
He was
sure.
like, bro.
For sure. But it kind of has the same feel as in the movie because Takashi's the first to do what he does, and you're like, man,
Yeah, he got dealt a bad card.
Yeah, man, he gets played. He gets played, but all the empty space just does so much. But yeah, damn, I miss. Boy, fuck you. We hate you.
I know.
We hate you. And then, bro, like,
Yo,
no,
yeah, I lost.
No. I mean, you read this whole thing with your mouth ajar.
For real, yo,
you know what I'm saying?
right there. I love that that panel. The last one. Holy shit, that like double line kind of effect. I've never seen that.
Like the light shadow. The light shadow is crazy.
Yeah, it's holy shit, dude.
I mean, it feels like you're in Akira's head because like who else would have a shadow of light in darkness? Like what the fuck?
Right.
But this right here, I was like, this is where I'm like, okay, Tetsuo is gonna be stupid, and he has this raw ass shit. It's like, bro, what?
That shit is cold.
What? I'm like, all right, whatever. Oh man, not that. Everybody knows, bro. The resonance is crazy, and I'm just gonna be honest. Like when I'm reading this, I felt like I was reading so many things. Like the resonance piece reminded me of Number 5 by Matsumoto. This dark piece reminded me of the Dark Hero arc from My Hero Academia. Like I just feel like so much looks like Akira.
Yeah.
I mean, Mob is like it feels directly influenced too, like 100%. Like he's about to go 100%.
Yeah, this looks like 100%. Jesus, what a noise, my boy! This is the first thing we hear from this dude.
And that shit, like, I'm just thinking about what that noise sounds like, and I'm like, yeah, probably make me throw up. I have no choice.
Yeah, bro. And then you're like, oh, nah. I mean, if my boy really get to chaos every time, I mean, he woke up twice. He woke up twice. It was like, nah, that's it. I'm blowing this whole thing up. And look at him. And, like, you can't really tell, but there's light specking in between his hands. Yeah. And then it's like, man, oh, man. You know what? It's like we can't even really comment on this because you can only experience this. There's nothing you can really say.
Nah, this shit had me like, I was like, oh nah, holy.
Because you're
like, now when you think about like the start of the movie too, and you see that huge explosion, it's like, fuck.
But throughout all of this, for whatever reason, I did not think that this would be the outcome, even though I knew it was the outcome. It doesn't feel like. With everything going on, Akira isn't a point of focus. I'm sure we think he's a threat, but he's like a dormant volcano. He's not going to be. Anything else is, we know Tetsuo's not around. He can't resonate with him to wake him up. You know what I'm saying? We have everybody else, and he's just kind of there because he has no agency or anything. And this just doesn't seem like a potential outcome. But then it happens, and it feels so unexpected. Like, it just feels like, nah, this is the worst possible thing.
It's like, especially because it's like in a majority of the volume, you just see Akira pass from like one hostile group to the other, and he's kind of like, all right, yeah, whatever, just tell me what to do. Okay, cool. And so you really are like, he's, it's really gonna take something crazy to phase him. And
yeah, my boy was sleeping in the trash can.
Too.
He was sleeping in the trash can for however long.
Trash can.
Bro, he is in the middle of the city, and you're like, bro, it can't. The sphere can't keep
right here.
Like the sphere can't get much bigger than this because they just said they're gonna go to the top of that one building. And you're like, bro, it's still going.
Yeah, no, it's literally like 7 or 8 pages of just mass destruction.
No, like I read this twice because it was just you just kind of watch
page right there.
Yeah, man, this one had me too because this was gorgeous.
That was so good at these scenes.
Yeah.
And then with the little tornadoes in the back, just to show the magnitude of this storm, this man is changing.
I need to see that. You're cooking.
bro, it's insane what this man Otomo was doing with it. I mean, you're just watching destruction.
Yeah, I was just silent as hell reading this. Like, damn, we were really seeing this in real time.
It's like he's really just showing how life can be disrupted at a
Yeah,
moment.
it kind
Mm,
of have.
mm.
Either of you watched Barefoot Gen or like read Barefoot Gen?
No.
Because this is exactly how it feels like. It's a story about a kid who survives like the atomic bomb droppings in like 1945 Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hiroshima, and it does the same thing where it like just slowly shows you from the epicenter to the surrounding residual effects of like it dropping. It's one of the most chilling like scenes. Like you guys have to have to watch it, and you'll see that this is like very very similar to
What's it
just
called?
how Barefoot Gen.
Drop that in the chat, bro. So
Yeah,
I'll
for
get on.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll find the clip and I'll put it in the chat in a bit.
Oh, I noted this page too. Actually, I thought I noted a different page, but I noted this page because this revelation was just stunning. Like you're
Yeah.
thinking it can't get much worse. Oh, okay. At least it's inside the sphere. People in the sphere. This is like no, he destroyed everything.
He sent it all to hell.
And then you're thinking at the center of this is just that little boy. Wow. Everyone who doubted the colonel was
He's
wrong.
looking dumb as fuck. They look dumb as shit right now.
If you're looking at all, them boys is dead. I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I really started like.
Shoot. And,
Oh, go ahead, yo.
and I like how there's no like little auto in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
I heard
Bro,
what he said.
I can't hear you at all.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
I'm gonna
Yeah, you spitting. Kind of.
pop it out.
Yep.
We'll fix it in post.
Hello.
Go. Oh, he's gone again.
Red guy cooking, bro. Like he's actually cooking. Like his phone is in the microwave type shit. He's a
Man, got airplane mode on right now, bro.
I mean, it's crazy. All of these pages with minimal to no dialogue. Oh my god, just soak it all in.
Yeah,
Open these gates. They went Joel Osteen on them boys, man. Crazy.
definitely the best part of Volume 3 for sure. For sure.
I don't know because this.
Yo, quick, yeah, you're right. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit, there's no way.
What?
Oh. My stomach fell to my knees, bro.
I mean, and then there's just so much in this. Like,
what I really love is like Akira's like uncertainty, but almost like he knows Tetsuo is like familiar to him, and so he's kind of looking to him as his saving grace because Akira like kind of realized that Tetsuo might be the only one that could possibly understand what like he is.
Yes, bro. Like this isolation that comes with his power, and then there's somebody who on this island he created for himself, the only place in proximity that still exists. Here comes this guy, and he comes through rays of sunshine.
Oh,
he comes through rays of sunshine to get there. Under this dark cloud, you can see the rain kind of around them. Right. I mean, there's water dripping off the guy. He's in tattered clothes. He has this dark shadow, but he's not afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And then Akira's over here playing with the rocks, making them float. I don't know. There was just so much to look at within this page. I mean, he's crying, nose sniffling. Man,
and you can see that Tetsuo is like he's not like, hey Akira, I fuck with you. He's like, oh, I can't wait to like use this power. I can't wait to get tapped into it too. But like you said, that isolation is like, bro, I'd be cool with Tetsuo too if he was the only one that showed up after that, man.
Facts. I mean, he's looking up, he's looking down, and there's just looking determination in Tetsuo's eyes. There's just, I don't know. I mean, I thought that was brilliant. I thought the value should have ended right there. Fuck every other came afterwards, bro. That was, I mean, what a run. I mean, to go from the chase to the disaster to that, boy, masterful.
And Volume 3 is the shortest one too. Yeah, he was cooking.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna leave y'all with this one for sure.
Yeah, bro, he cooked up. He cooked up kind of crazy. And then we get to the big dog. I didn't leave too much time. Hopefully, y'all got an extra like couple minutes because I know there's so much to talk about within this one.
Volume 4 is so good.
It is so good.
Damn.
But dog, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not remember the beginning of this or the first half of this volume being so chock full of like sexual assault.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's fun.
It was crazy. But the thing that I mean, I guess this is the wrong word to use, but I can't, for lack of a better term, I can appreciate how scary it was. Like it wasn't, you know, purely comical. It wasn't written off, but it kind of had this feel of this is probably what would happen if it was a whole bunch of boys in their teens running the country. And, I mean, there's one girl, and I mean, every time it happens, you are terrified for Kay.
Yeah. God, yeah.
But we move into the great Tokyo Empire. Oh my God. But the thing that so did you guys have, I want to voice a quick problem, and then I'm going to shut up because I know I'm talking a lot right now. But maybe I missed it. You have no idea how much time passed between
No
then
idea.
and now.
No idea.
No clue.
And you're like, it can't be that long because Tetsuo looks the same.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, has it even been a year?
Like, yeah, I was about to, it's got to be within a year.
You know, but there's so much that's changed inside and outside. How did they assume so much control? How did the other side of the country fall apart? Why is America and all these other nations, why are they watching from the outside? How long have they been there? There's so many questions that arise from like that. But I don't know if that was, I mean, it sounds like it was a problem for you guys, but.
Well, yeah, I didn't really have a problem with it because it seemed like as much exposition, this reality after, you know, something as large as Akira is probable enough. And so that's why I was like, yeah, that's really fine. I don't really need to know the timeline because it almost feels inevitable that it would lead to something like this because there's no way you can rebuild after that shit. Twice? I'm all right, bro. I'm good. Let's just chill out and fucking let's make it rock, man. I'm not trying to build no building ever again.
But it's only 17-year-olds alive.
You're right.
That's how it feels like, bro. Everybody's 17 in here.
Yeah, everyone looks really young.
Oh, but also the cover. I love this cover. It's not my favorite cover. I think Volume 5 is my favorite cover. But my boy on the throne looking real royal.
And what I love about how Akira is drawn is that it never feels like he knows who he is. It never feels like he's ever leaning into any of the power or the position that he has. He's simply just like an exponent or like a vessel of his own being. So he's just there for the ride. It never feels like he's really in control. I love that.
He is just a child.
But he's also
like
30.
He was frozen for 30 years.
Yeah. He's like he's Momonosuke. Unfortunately. Just got fast. He just got blooped into the future. But also, I think the first thing that stood out to me about this volume is we finally see Tetsuo in his cloak, in his movie form.
Yeah.
His movie fit. All those other fits were like, oh, where did all these come from?
Okay, so something I noticed is that Kei and Chiyoko are very masculine, and there's not a lot of femininity represented other than like the other children, or either like they're being sexually assaulted, or like Lady Miyako. I don't. That's like my one critique is that like average life is not really portrayed accurately, and I don't know if that's because Otomo's trying to say something about I don't know young boys feeling the need to sign up for the military or something like that. But I just that kind of rubbed me the wrong way that the women that prevail are more aligned with masculinity than anything else.
He's probably like Taya Matsumoto and just doesn't know how to write women, so he
Yeah,
didn't write
I was
them.
thinking that too. Like he just doesn't know how to like. I was in a
Just-
bookstore yesterday, and the dude was telling me he has Matsumoto's wife's book, and she's been drawing all of his women characters for like the last 12 years, and she apparently draws just like him.
Yeah, they work on all their stuff together now.
Yeah. So, I mean, that could be the case, but I don't know. But
Yeah,
it's funny
I can't.
because people praise this, especially in the '80s, for having like strong female leads. You know, like having women in the story that aren't just relegated to being women in the
Sure.
traditional.
Yeah,
But then again, like you're saying, it's still not a proper portrayal of women.
Right.
yeah. Like a lot of the plot progression in this volume is, Kei and Shoko
Yeah.
going and moving the quote unquote kids. Also, Choco's far and away my favorite character in this volume.
Yeah, she's so badass. Holy
She's
shit.
so cool.
She's a dog. She is a dog. Oh yeah, so I wanted to get here because before you get to the end of the volume and this kind of takes on a different meaning, this looks like some obscure representation of the rising sun. You know, and then when you have Miyako on the east, which is this side of the sun, and this is still together, I'm like, okay, this is obviously this devastation came from Akira in a literal sense, but this also seems to still like represent that side of Japan figuratively. And then you go from that, and then you have Tetsuo in front of the moon. So you have like this pretty overt portrayal of these two sides, but it's not the case. But I wanted to know if anybody else thought anything about that.
No, I didn't even pick up on the immediate like shot to the same kind of angle that Tetsuo was in. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he was just you were too enamored because he's so fucking cool. Look at him sitting in front of the moon.
Cool. Like what?
Like, why is he sitting
fucking waiting? Like what? Badass
Wait,
shit.
man. But I'm gonna skip ahead unless you guys have anything you want to talk about in some of this stuff.
No, the only thing was the DNA heliotrix kind of thing that Akira's got going on.
Yeah.
So I think this is the first time we kind of see that. We see him playing with rocks, but this is the first time that we see him, I guess, complete the pattern. And I mean, it seems pretty on the nose that he's like a representation of life that we don't necessarily understand, but still exists. But I don't know if y'all saw it as anything else. That was just kind of what I figured. Now that he's kind of unlocked, or now that he's reawakened, he's back into his form of a different sort of existence, a different sort of like stream, like Miyako talks about a little bit later.
Yeah, nah, I couldn't make too much of this. I stared at it for a while, like, why? And I think towards the end, I started to make something of it with the stream and da 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 da. And I'll talk about it when we get like closer to that area. But I don't know. I didn't have anything that I don't know. It was like beyond me, basically.
I just know that Tetsuo says he sees something when when we get to the end. We'll talk about it more. But when he has that like crazy trip, it felt like it's like I finally saw what he sees or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was this pattern.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of foreshadowing that because you immediately see Tetsuo like behind him eating all the pills, but you later find out kind of subdue his natural ability. So I guess it was more just foreshadowing to what he will eventually turn into because now you see like instead of Tetsuo at top of the movie, you see Akira at the bottom of the moon, kind of almost like balancing out the different perspectives. two sides of the same coin, more or less.
More so, I think, like Miyako says later on, he's not a part of the string.
Right.
He's
Right.
outside of all this shit. My boy really.
My boy really chill like that. My boy really vibing.
Tetsuo really turning his back to the god he could be. We was wolves. Like, it gets critical, man. I felt so bad for Ryu, man. My boy really was. He bottomed out. Everybody died.
My boy hit rock bottom.
This was mad awkward though.
Yeah, I hated that. I felt cringe, so cringe. God,
like look at his eyes, look at his face, and look at his face when he sees Kyoko. And how Kyoko grabbed her that damn quick?
She don't
All
play.
of that.
Kyoko go.
She said, "Give my niece back, man."
He said, "Bro, take a shower, bro. Go ahead, hit the showers real quick, bro."
And then smack the shit out of the kid. You stupid. But yeah, this is all cool. The whole spy thing, I don't know. It didn't move me. The spies didn't move me too much. Sure, they get Ryu active. They get him back into the story.
Yeah. Okay. So, are they like where? Which government are they from? I'm still trying to figure out. I never understood that.
That's a good question. Because shit, I don't know.
Because they just popped up. Obviously, like knowing something, but you don't know who gave them any information or like what actually happened.
And where the hell did they swim in from? Like, did they just drop out of the sky? Because the pool is right next to Tetsuo. I'm sure he would have.
I think they're from the government that was set up preliminarily after the level 7 security thing, because they said that a temporary government was put in place, right? Because near Tokyo, after that explosion, there's like a single bridge that is connecting that to the rest of Japan. So the only way people can get through is by that bridge. But as somewhere in the chapter, there's like rubble in the way, and there's people blocking people from getting through. And that's when they like declare to the rest of the world like we're the Tokyo Empire. So they're like pretty much cut off from the rest of Japan at this point.
Yeah.
So those people are probably just from like the military government that was set up.
But the thing about it that's weird is I know Tetsuo says it, but I feel like they do too, because Ryu asks what's going on the outside. So it's like they might have come from the preliminary government, but where is that government established? You kind of have all these looming questions based on that, because we know that America and all these other countries have their ships outside and their guns pointed at Akira, but they're too scared to do anything. They don't know exactly how. And are these folks coming from that same group? Or, like, how do they know? How do they know that if they're coming from?
I think these two are just from like the Japanese government, like the military, because it's a martial power, right? So the military has control over the government right now. I think they were from this, like the organization, like the military that the colonel was originally from, right? Like that sort of military. And then Ryu and that group, I think, was probably like an underground resistance, like not necessarily like a freedom fighters, but like
Yeah, man. I don't know if I can think that, because I feel like they came. I feel like the existing Japanese military either. I don't think it can exist.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure Ryu kind of points out that they're from like America or something.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. He says you're from the outside.
He
says something about how's the outside world, and that's why I'm like, because if there was any, as we've seen so far with the preceding 3 volumes, anywhere the government can get involved, they're gonna be involved in this story. Anywhere they can take control, they're gonna take control. So that east side wouldn't belong to Lady Miyako. They would be in the top of that joint, pulling strings. If there was any sort of anything they could use, because even Nezu, him being a representative of the government, he was using Miyako. So I'm sure somebody else would. But my boy Ryu thought he was slick. Yo, the sewer rats? Oh my god.
Yeah, hated that. Oh my god, hated that.
Scared.
It's really, really funny though.
I mean, it just showed the difference in resolve. Them boys was
Yeah,
like,
Jericho versus the army.
It was like, hold
the
on.
Empire.
Yeah, it was like, hey, wait up. There he goes again. So, yeah.
Love this part. Love this part so much. Akira looks menacing. My goodness, I was legit like, oh, he's thinking like now he's actually listening. Now he's actually about to do something intentional. I didn't. I don't want to see it, bro. Let him do his own. Give him the rock, bro. I don't want to see it.
Yeah. Let me back up. I went too far. So first of all, Kaori.
God damn it, man. Heartbroken. I was like, this is how they do it, man. Fuck.
That's how Kaori gets introduced to the story, bro.
Damn it,
Like
dude.
when I was telling you, it's completely different from the movie.
God
Is,
damn, bro.
Was that who? So like, have we met them before? Were they the like the school
No,
nurse person? No.
Kaori.
Just another person. Okay.
Yeah, Kaori's just a character in this, but she gets amplified. She takes on a pretty significant role in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least for Tetsuo, like she becomes a part of the cast. Like you think of Kaori, kind of the same way you think of. She's like Tetsuo's K.
Okay.
Except
Yeah.
'Cause I saw her like walking around, and doing all that stuff for Tetsuo and for Akira. But I wasn't sure if I was supposed to know them.
No. I just mentioned last week that for people that have seen the movie, her introduction in here is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Compared to, and when you see the movie, now you're gonna be like, what the hell?
Like,
Like, it's gonna have that effect either way. But my boy was really, I mean, Tetsuo's a horrible person. Goodness gracious.
Terrible person.
And look at it, but Kaori had me weak. She was like, yeah, I'm not really in the mix. I'm not really doing all that. But I mean, Tetsuo, this was so interesting because obviously we're looking at this girl's eye, but I think this was sort of Otomo's way of showing us how all the powers synchronize and resonate. Because whenever Tetsuo was going down an elevator, anytime he used his ability, it would resonate with Akira or the three kids would know because it's like they all exist on a different plane, and whenever you use your power, everybody taps into the plane at the same time.
Right.
And maybe something like that. So she's looking through. So she's the one that gets elevated or whatever, but then it immediately goes into his head, and we get to see a bit of Tetsuo. So how did you guys feel about this glimpse into Tetsuo's head, this first one?
I still have no reason to believe they were ever friends after all the flash the semi flashbacks of this volume. I still have no reason to ever believe that they ever liked and or cared about each other. Like I have no reason to believe that they had any sort of connection other than like we have mutual friends and we ride bikes together.
But yes. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything against that, but yes.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I was trying to say something too, but you got me.
But I think what else was interesting, aside from Canada, Tetsuo's this thing, like you kind of figure he's an orphan. He's like in the system. Sure, kind of picks up for him here and there or whatever. He looks like somebody else here. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing like Tetsuo.
It's just pre-5 head.
Yeah, he had a double chin.
Back when he had his hair long.
And a moon pie face. Lot going on. But then this right here, like, it was like, wait, was he always a piece of shit? Is this stigma? Is this like an existing stigma against orphans? Like, what is this? It's a picture of my mama. That's mine. Give it back. You picked it up in the street, didn't you? Who are you? How did you know? Wait. Did he pick it up in the street?
What's going on?
Has he always been this kind of evil? Like,
Was this latent? You know, it's like Aaron. If anybody else got the power of the founder, like would the Rumble not have happened?
right.
But it gets interesting because then also you learn that something about the moon. You got this Tetsuo moon imagery going on. Something here is linked to Akira, and you're not exactly sure how. But you know you're getting into everybody's head because like, why the fuck is Miyako in here? You know, Tetsuo doesn't even know about Miyako yet. Is this how he finds out?
Right.
So all these things are very tricky. A lot to look at.
Wait, hold up. Wait, go back up. Was that the first time we've seen Akira say something? Go back up. He just says the moon. Is that the first time we? Like...
Yes. I actually noted that. Yes, well, yes, he does say "og," but that was a noise. But I did note that 114 were the first words he uttered in the entire. You know what I'm saying? We have 4 volumes of a book in your name. These are the first words you say. The moon. So it just adds a lot to the whole moon thing. Still don't know what to make of it, but you know, we recognize that it's there. Ooh, and then we get this. I said, boy, you not me. You not me. And it's like, are these Akira's eyes? Because this is the first time we see a pupil in this man as well.
I don't know, the exclamation mark makes me think that it's Tetsuo.
Tetsuo's? I think it's Tetsuo's as well, but I think this is Akira. And it's weird because it's like, where'd your bang go? Because this is obviously Tetsuo. So I'm tripping because that's his hair.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. I guess the bottom panel is like him, quote unquote, opening his eyes. I guess to like, you know, his reaction. Like the second to bottom panel is him, like staring back at Akira, and then he's opening his eyes to when he says "Hey," you know. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he realizes because I mean he gets poomed. It learns the difference in their power, and then he cowers into the corner. But I got a text from Red God, and what he was trying to say in his beat bop boot bop moment was that he likes that there was no onomatopoeia, just pure destruction. I agree. So yeah, my boy screamed.
I think Barefoot Gen also does that. I don't think there's much sound besides the sound of like
destruction.
Yeah, it's eerily quiet. Like there's noise. It's not just like dead silent, but like it's very similar. Where like you don't hear the sound of things being destroyed. You just hear the sound of like the rumble of the explosion.
Yeah. I'm looking at this now, and yeah, we have a provisional government, but it's strictly for show. It has no real power. Yeah, this whole thing is, I don't know. There's some aspects of this that you just, you raise your eyebrow at. You kind of question.
Right. I just have to imagine that Neo Tokyo's like so secluded after that explosion that the outside is anything but Neo Tokyo.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Old Tokyo is what they called it in the joint. You got Neo Tokyo, Old Tokyo is a whole different thing, you know, from the first explosion. So we know it's probably the same thing again. But, yeah. I fucking hate this Flock guy.
Oh, yeah. He's such a good bad guy.
Nah, that's why I just call him Flock, because that's all I feel for him. He's a Jaegerist. Hardcore, makes his own decisions. Like,
he's like playing a similar road to to Nezu in this one, where all of his decisions are like pushing the plot forward too.
Yeah, and it's like you're not the great man that you think you are. You are another one of them.
Small man with power.
Yeah. And how did you even get selected to be the right hand? Who gave
I
who
didn't
gave
vote
you
for
a
him.
necktie? Who gave you a necktie?
Yeah, I didn't
What's
vote
going
for him.
on? Here we have again another terrifying encounter. All right, so now we can kind of skip through this because yeah, sure. I didn't take any notes on the second half of 4 because I strictly just read it because it was just crazy, man.
Because it's just Kyoko putting the series on her back.
For
I'm telling
real.
you, boy. She was like, "Let's get to work, man."
She's like, all right, I got the first kid. Time to get this kid.
His stab still carries that kid like, yo, what a badass.
I mean, goodness me. I mean, she really just pulls up like what, love her.
Yeah, and then handles everybody too, like still wounded. It's like, yo, what's
You know
up?
what I'm
Y'all ain't fought
saying?
me yet. Let's get it. Bah, 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 bah.
Make Canada do that, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Make him do that.
Cracking jokes and shit.
Yeah. Just being cute. We don't give a fuck about that. So your ass got swallowed up by the storm. Alright, yeah. This is what I wanted to skip to. This is so heat. So in that previous encounter, you know, and I went back and searched for it. He's like, this place looks exactly like. Oh, it's familiar? That design behind you, I know it. You know?
Yeah.
So whenever he was in there, he was really inside of Akira's head because he saw this. And this was off screen. We did not see that in our little look back through of things. But, you know, it was interesting. So yeah. This is my favorite moment in Volume 4. The meeting between those two. And we finally get like Miyako just has all the lore.
Yeah, for real.
She knows what, but then she leaves out like the things you want to know. Why did Akira blow up the world? What's going on?
That's why I still don't really trust Miyako, because she don't really feel like devoted to the cause. I feel like she's trying to, you know, set stuff up for her to still prevail in the end. Maybe that's just me not really understanding much and just not really trusting her, because I mean, she was the leader of the East, right? So like she's still entertaining that idea of power. So to just absolve her from all that because someone else is a little stronger, I don't know. I'm not really trusting her.
That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like her sense of power is like more aligned in just the truth of things. It's not like she searches for power, and I think the people kind of put her on that pedestal because she opened her doors and helped people, helped the sick, helped the wounded, wherever they needed it.
I agree with that, and I also think that people can still, like, she can still change her mind with that much power, and or even, you know, still guide people to do stuff with this idea that they're doing better, and we just don't really know what her end goal is. Sure, she can still help people out, but I personally don't think that's enough to absolve her from like that kind of that worry of something else. I'm thinking like 20 volumes ahead. I'm just
Yeah, tight.
I really
But
remember
see, the reason she's just not a threat to me is because sure she has the power, but she's not a 20 series. She didn't get this.
Oh, right.
She didn't get this special fluid put into her head. Her DNA was altered. She didn't get no genetic, you know, model. She's not GMO. She organic. You know what I'm saying? She not built that way. But I love looking at the little ones when they were actually young. And I also love how not Akira, but Tetsuo kind of like shuts all this shit down at the end. Like, I mean, she goes crazy with her stream talk, and man, I loved it. I mean, sometimes I'll be walking around, and I'll be like, look beyond form and consider substance, because form and substance are like those are two things.
Two different things.
that I really fucking love in book stuff. Whenever I read a manga or a book and they bring up those two words in conjunction, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in for a treat. I know this is for me. But this is what I like. But you know, infinity, space without time without space, eternity, space without bounds. Like all that shit was just so dope. And the Tetsuo is like, shut up. I want to know something concrete. What the hell is Akira? What are you talking about?
Metaphysical bullshit.
He said, "Who the strongest? Where you at, man?"
And she said, you'll never understand. But Akira is not in the stream. I feel like that was the big, story takeaway. Outside of everything I loved. I mean, I just love that. I love this interaction. So what are your guys' favorite moments of Volume 4?
Oh, anything with Shoko. Like
Yeah.
they were just like there's other parts in Volume 4 that I like. I like the ending of it when they're rushing up to the tower. And then when they get up there, Tetsuo's there, and they kind of do the swap between like Kaneda comes back seemingly, and like Tetsuo goes to like beyond where Kaneda was. I think that kind of amplifies the or not amplifies, but like it kind of shows how like the duo protagonist theme of like them not being together at once. That moment was cool, but anything with Shoko just beating ass and you know it was all just insanely cool. It was just badass.
I also think
why she decided to give up right here? Why she decide? Why her body decided like, yo, this is it at the top of a building.
Bro.
Lone Thug. That shit sucked.
She had that stab in her with like half the volume, bro.
Yeah,
My
for
thing
real.
is this though. What really had me kind of tight was the colonel finds her, sees that she's struggling, dying or whatever, and then just walks around with his little pole. If you don't take Kyoko, like,
right, and let Kyoko die, bro. Why you making her do all that?
Take the child. Take the child. Let
And
that
he's like,
woman
"Yeah, you
walk."
got it, man."
He just walking ahead of her. Yo, you straight?
You good?
Like, bro, what are you doing here, man?
I do think the Colonel definitely turned around as a character for me. I hated him in volumes 1 and 2, and in 3 and 4. I'm like, damn, he really like saw everything fail before him, and he didn't even complain. He really was like, all right, I just got to prevent it again, and I'm like, I respect that.
I
And that
told
part's
y'all
kind of crazy because he didn't really change. It's us as the readers that changed.
Oh, it was y'all. It was y'all. Me. I always know. I always know.
I mean,
if somebody is saying no, y'all not listening. You gotta trust that.
oh yeah, I mean, I liked him as a character the first two volumes. I think
Everybody was wilding on him, man.
yeah, I think a lot of people were like, this guy sucks, and I was like, bro, he's the only one that seems to remember. Like, y'all don't see the crater?
Like, it didn't happen. Yo, so the next question I had is, all right, the cover of this volume is the throne. Akira is the throne, but he doesn't care for power. But then we have the people rotating through the throne. Talk to me about the throne. What do you guys think it means? How do you think it symbolizes power, or how does it take shape or how does it shape the people within?
Personally, to me, the throne feels like almost symbolic in the sense that like Akira sits it, but like he doesn't care about it, and then like Tetsuo sits in it, and then I feel like after the things that happen to him in the like second half or like the latter third of this volume, like he doesn't care for it, and then like the next person to sit on it is that the 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 Nezu of this volume,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's kind of something like it's almost like baiting people into power, and then the people who sit on it and realize that that's not what power is are the people that continue forward, and the people that are consumed by that power will continuously try to keep that seat when there's more there. You know, it's not the highest point on that
Right.
island, right?
Right.
There's
I,
more
I
past it.
I like that. I thought it was almost like a moral compass, or it kind of forced people to make a decision. Um, I guess because like Tetsuo sits on it, realizes okay, no more meds. Dude sits on it, he's like, really, okay, I'm gonna get the other military and take this for myself. And so, like you're saying, Brian, like that, that desire for power seems to be realized at least at the throne because that is the one place where power sits. And then whenever they're like, okay, that's how I go get it, they go and then almost like check back in with themselves on the throne. No, I have it yet. No, okay, I got to do something else.
So I hear y'all, but then how do y'all explain this?
Man, let's go. He's sitting on there.
And he's also like he's chilling now. Like before, he like in the cover, he's sitting like very poised, very reserved. In the final panels, he's like, "Yeah, I'm him. Yes, I'm Akira. You finally realized it. Let's get to work." Like he was waiting for Tetsuo to get to that point so he could actually step into his own power.
Boy, is just tired of walking. You need to sit down for a minute.
Say, I was like, what did he say? You know what he just said? Yo. He was like, yeah, them stairs is a lot, man. He took a break.
Taking a breather.
But for real, I mean, the way it's like he assumes power at this point. Like he's known. I don't know. Maybe Akira doesn't speak to people because he thinks he's above them. We don't have a basis for his character. We don't know his thoughts. But right here, we see the most resolute and just perfect form, submission to power. Tetsuo does this with pure understanding of the difference between them and all that Akira's been holding this whole time. And he kneels before a king.
That shit had me.
You said what?
That shit had me humbled. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I've never seen Tetsuo that kind of like calm. Like, I love that panel Tetsuo because you can see he's removed him, like that sense of ego. He's removed it. He's here to serve a mission. He's here to serve a purpose that does not include Tetsuo. He's almost part of the stream or as close to the stream as possible.
Yeah, or he's about to step outside of the stream. And that's what is depicted. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about what happens at the end of this little war. Tetsuo explodes. And the art is sick. Oh God, I love this.
Yeah, it's so real.
But there's something like omnipotent about it because all of his perspectives change. Sure, he's and it's like as a reader, you kind of just expect this and it's a natural thing and you can appreciate it for what it is. But then you're like, oh no, this is intentional because of the dialogue. Like that baby. He's looking up. He's looking through his eyes. Then he's looking down at himself through his parents' eyes.
Oh, and you know what I just noticed? That the panel of their parents kind of mimics that whole background that Miyako has with the light. Maybe I'm reaching, but that feels intentional to me. The two sides, the light in the middle, light like beaming down on Tetsuo. That I just thought about that right now.
Yeah, it's like this. That's what he goes into.
I just want to point out this attention to detail. The parents are mirrored in the eye because like they would be mirrored like from that perspective. Like it's not like important necessarily to the story at all, but just that attention to detail is just like really cool, really good.
Yeah.
And then it gets swept up into the stream. And then looking at him, he's like, "This is kind of in the stream." I don't know. It has a cool little vibe going. So what about this, Brian? Did this make you feel? Did you feel it?
Nah.
You feel the power of friendship?
Nah. I've read a lot of shonen, bro. There's no power of friendship right here.
My thing is this: why why the Gundam turn into pills? What's your message here, my brother?
From one vice to another, you know.
Type shit. Is this cry? Is this your cry? The trauma of your rebirth? I hate when stories do this, but I only hate it when they do this, and I don't think of it first.
Right.
Like, oh, he's being born again. Ah, damn, I'm slow. That's how I be reading this shit. How did I not notice that? That's why he became a baby. But then you have the helix forming. But instead, and everything else is swept up into the helix. But
I
now
like
he's the center of it.
in this perspective, it's less like a helix, and like it is a helix, but it looks more like a stream, like a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
so, like I guess maybe like in this it's definitely like a helix, but like depending on where you're looking at it from, like when you're inside of it or like
Right.
outside of it, it looks like one thing, but when you're inside of it, it looks like another.
Right.
Yeah, a
Oh, that's
spiral is
nice.
a circle. Spiral is a circle from the top and the bottom. And that's what this becomes. And I think this is what he was seeing on Miyako's wall. The stream.
The inside of the stream, right?
Yeah, so I think like that's the perspective that Akira has. Because look at him. He's standing on the stream. Because he's not in it. He's apart from the stream.
Outside of it,
Mm.
And Tetsuo finally kind of reaches that place.
or at least an understanding of that's where Akira is.
Right.
And that's
let
where
me let me respect him real quick.
Yeah. Because it's like that's not only where he is, but that's where he's been. He's
Right.
and it feels, I don't know, to me, it feels like the stream. I mean, she describes it, but the kind of the way, and I know this is a stupid way to look at it, but I don't know, it might be stupid. But I think of it like fucking hollow, like Infinite Void.
I mean, it does look like an infinity sign, like multiple infinity signs.
Yeah, but like
Repeating.
Infinite Void, like Gojo's domain, like all the information ever to possibly exist, all of your life ever to happen, it's happening at the same time, you know? And that's why Akira don't speak. He ain't got shit to talk. He ain't got shit to talk about. You know? So he just has access to all of this, and he's been sitting with this power. And it's like, these are the things that sort of, I mean, the same thing kind of exists within Attack on Titan. And, you know, in that season 2 with Uri and Kenny and Rod Rice, the question comes up, what do you call someone that has access to all this and can do all of these things? We call that a god.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's where he recognizes Akira as a being more powerful than himself. And I just love, again, we go into something like this, how gorgeous this top panel is. He recognizes it. He's like, you see me for who I am. Kneel to me. You're finally suitable to be my assistant. And then my boy finally comes
And then
back.
it's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So, so one last thing really quick. Sorry to keep you guys longer than, our agreed upon time. But I did want to show, because we kind of skipped through the whole war. I mean, yeah, it was cool. We got Keisuke back, which was awesome.
It was a lot of action, less about plot.
Yeah.
Oh shit, did I pass it? Don't tell me I lost it. I lost it. Maybe it's 278. So Canon, the film company, Otomo did ads for them and ended up being like a creative director for Canon. And I don't know when this happened with the story, but you know, you start seeing the Canon stickers on Tetsuo's bike. I mean, Kaneda's bike, and when Kyoko and the general are walking, or maybe when the general is walking with Kyoko to go to Miyako's place. Yeah, all these yos. First of all, yos and ko's. but he passes by a Canon store, and
Oh,
it's like
really? That's funny.
not too many things have brands in here, but that does. So I wanted to point it out, but I think that I've lost it. So just know that it exists, and maybe after I turn the stream off.
That canon is canon in the story.
Yeah, it's canon. It's canon. But I'm gonna go back to chapter 3 to the front, and I'm gonna ping Phil, see if he has anything to say.
Don't worry, I got
If
the
he's
got the
around.
goat still. Got the goat still on it.
my
He's
boy,
been thugging it out this whole time.
my boy Phil Literate.
Illiterate. We.
But yeah, appreciate you guys coming and discussing. So, I did have a question though. I didn't know how you guys wanted to do next week because we can do 5 and 6 and discuss that at 7, like usual, and then set up another time to do the movie. But I do want to watch the movie with you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm cool with that. We can do 5 and 6 next week, and then the week after do the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we just expanded one more week. I'm down with that. I just have to find a way because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm using a thread to keep the chats alive.
Mm-hmm.
So threads auto archive after 24 hours.
I mean, you can find it again.
Yeah, but if you see me just drop a random period in there.
Oh, don't worry. We do that. And one of the other servers I'm in, like, there's threads that go missing, and we're just like, oh, here we go. Here's the period.
Period. Just it's here, guys. It's here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tapping in, keeping this discussion alive. I always appreciate hearing what you guys have to think about this. And I'm excited because next week we are ending this. And I don't know. I honestly do not remember 5 or 6.
Me neither.
Yeah, I have no idea where it's gonna go.
I remember 4 being my favorite. I remembered 4 for Tetsuo and Miyako meeting and whatnot, but like I don't remember what happens when Kaneda gets back.
I'm so hyped for this ending.
Me too.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a long or rushed session.
It's gonna be a power friendship, and everything's gonna be fun.
Yep.
But all right, fellas, y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one, man.
Have a good night, yo.
Oh, Swordsman was creeping in here. What the fuck?
What the hell?
Yeah, bro. I was in here for like the past hour.
Yo, I'm crying, son.
There's more people in here than I thought.
Yeah,
Yo,
bro.
what's up, Swordsman?
What's good, bro?
That's so funny, bro.
Yeah,
Oh shit. Scheming Demon Design. Oh man, I wish you would have spoke up. I don't know what chapter you was talking about. One of your favorite parts.
Oh yeah.
Because I was not. I was just streaming.
Yeah, I'll be back here next week.
All right, bet. Yeah, we're reading 5 and 6, finishing it up, and then we're gonna do the movie the week after. And and then we'll be moving on to, I believe, Domu, which is his first joint.
Okay.
But I don't know if we'll do asynchronous or synchronous or whatever.
How long is it?
Domu?
How long is it? Yeah.
Got no clue, my boy.
If it's like 1 or 2 volumes, you can just do like a
Quick joint.
like a one-off.
Yeah. It don't gotta be nothing crazy.
Yeah, but
Trying to see. I'm trying to make sure he'll turn off the live. Oh no, he did not. Okay, let me turn it off. All right, y'all.
yes, sir. Peace
All right, now. Peace.
Peace. Itadori Filji.